All right, everybody, welcome to the first episode of Grown Man's Game. This is Gerrit Ritt along with my man John Collins. You may know him as Johnny Ballgame. We'll be talking to him here shortly, but want to let everyone here know that we're excited to have you with us. And this is going to be a little bit different than most. I know a lot of people probably say that, but we're going to look at the positive in sports here. Johnny and I love us talking some sports. We've been doing it with each other for 20 years now plus, and we don't want to get into the negative side of it too much. When LeBron James gets booted out of the playoffs, and that's all people want to talk about, and what's next for LeBron, that's fun, sure, but we don't need that. We're going to go for the positive. Denver won that series. Denver is the one who deserves the flowers. That's the one we're going to talk about, just like we will here in a minute. They had their parade going on today, so we'll get into a little bit of that. But I want to first introduce John Collins here. He's been my buddy for 20 plus years, like we said. And he's had a bit of a stretch on the Jim Rome show when I was there for the last 4 years, and so you may recognize him from that if you've any of you chime into that show. So, Johnny, tell me a little about yourself and what we're looking to do here on Grown Man's Game.
Yes, G-Man. Very cool, man. Very excited to do this. It's long overdue. So yeah, we've talked so much about, not criticizing people in championships and rings, and like some people do on the radio and people that you know very well, it's not about just trading people and joining new people and getting rid of people. It's about let's just enjoy this game. All the sports. What does sport mean to us? Baseball, we got golf today going on. We can talk about that. I got my merch going on. But just what sport means to us, what does it do for us, how we kind of live through it, and rather than just being critical of everything. So yeah, let's do this, man.
The first thing today, like you've already mentioned, the thing that golf has done for us and sports have done for us is that you grew up on Los Angeles Country Club's course. You've been there for years. You've seen it. You've done every hole hundreds of times. And now, for the first time ever, we have the U.S. Open here in Los Angeles at the Los Angeles Country Club. You've already been out to the course a couple of times this week, checking out practice rounds. What do you think out there? What do you see? And how's it been? How crazy has it been to watch your course, your home course, on
Right.
national TV?
Right. Surreal. I was there. Saw Rahm, Finau, Brooks, JT, Spieth, Fowler. Also talked to a lot of attractive women, by the way. But yeah, just G-Rid, it's the image for LACC has been exclusivity, a little bit of racism, and very, it's been a difficult place to get into. And hearing people, they're like, I heard Scott Van Pelt saying, I don't know anybody there. I haven't played there. And it's interesting, and on LA radio too, they were kind of giving it a bad name. I think overall, everyone's really appreciative of this. But the truth is about LACC, it's a gem. It's one of the best courses in the world. I can't believe I'm watching it. And I'm really glad that kind of leadership has changed over the years to open this up and to share it. So unreal stuff.
Yeah, it's remarkable that it has not been here before. The players all love it so far. Yeah, it's had kind of a iffy reputation and well deserved on some levels, but I think we're gonna love watching this course. A couple of the guys have already gone out there and just scorched it. Ricky Fowler was six
Ricky.
under by the time we were recording this on the first round. Ricky
Unreal.
was at six, and Xander
Seven
was
now.
at five
He's
under as well.
7.
Ricky's a
Yeah.
local product. He's a California guy.
Yeah.
Gotta love him. Max Homa,
Another
another
local guy.
Californian. He was at two under, I believe, just
Yeah, he
now.
also
And
set the course record in college about 8 years ago. The course is different now, but Homa looks great. I still like him a lot to win this thing.
so, well, I would have loved to have gone out there. It's been a rough week for me not being able to go out there. Hopefully, maybe tomorrow we'll stop in for a couple hours and check out the course because I
Yeah.
know it's going to be just amazing to watch. A couple of things that likes and dislikes so far. I
Yeah.
love the fact that it's got a par five to get kicked off. A lot of guys have taken advantage of that and have gotten themselves birdies and gotten one under already right when they kick off the course, John.
Yeah, I heard someone say it's kind of like a handshake. Like we'll give you a little handshake, we'll give you a nice par five, just don't drive it in the trap. Very birdieable. You can maybe get an eagle if you hit a great shot. But then it gets rough. And again, today has been, with the winds and the weather, lack of winds and the weather and the the mist, it's scoreable. But it's going to get
Right.
crazy over the weekend. I don't think anyone's hitting -10. Ricky's having a great day, but yeah, so they're going to change it every day.
If they get it 6 under already, who knows what Ricky and Xander will finish at? For them not to get it 10 under on the week, that would be amazing. That would say exactly how hard this course is. It's got to harden up. We've had a relatively mild summer here so far in LA.
Right.
I've been playing my own courses out here. It's been easy as well. The putting has been slower. I got to imagine it's going to speed up here over the weekend once we get some sun bearing down
It's going
in
to
the
be an ice
middle of
skating rink. They'll go
Beverly
out there with
Hills.
their
Yeah,
heaters. They go out the LPGA. I mean the LPGA, USPGA goes. They go out there with their heaters, and they'll figure out the greens however they want them. They'll dry them up if the weather is not even good. There was a light rain out here in North Hollywood, so
right.
this was the day to score. But over the weekend, good luck. Good luck.
I hope you're right. I love seeing of any other places, this and the Open and British Open are the two places where I want to see guys struggle. I want to see scores, a winning score being even par. And
Panic, yes.
coming down, some lucky guy gets into the clubhouse after 72 holes at like 1 over, and all of a sudden the guys 3 or 4 shots above him just keep coming down as the last 4 or 5 holes go. And
We're
that's
gonna
the
see
way
it.
what happened to Jack Nicklaus when he won his and at the Masters, and people just came back to him and dropped. And it happens at the Open and the U.S. Open all the time. So that would be amazing to see that on Sunday. And for me, well, I've never really talked to you about this, John, and I know you lost your father a few years back. I was there for him at his funeral, which is a shame. But one of the best days of my life was being able to go to the U.S. Open on a Sunday, which is always held on Father's Day. And
Right.
we were at the 1991 U.S. Open at Pinehurst when Payne Stewart won that on the
Right.
final hole, the leg kick and everything when they beat Phil in the final hole.
Yeah.
Just amazing. One of the best days, like I said. And if that's not what sports does for you, I don't know what else to tell you, because that was an amazing experience. And I hope a lot of other people get to experience that this weekend out here at the LACC, and hope we get a really
And it's
exciting
Father's
weekend.
Day, really. It's a special time. And a lot of our audience, will, I don't think they appreciate golf enough, but it's one of those sports, privileged sports. It's expensive, but it's an amazing sport. And, again, like watching the LACC and the US Open on Father's Day, it doesn't get better than that. So yeah, everyone just tune in, watch this course. Look at the real estate.
Well, I'm pumped to watch the rest of the rounds here, and I'm pumped for you because I know it's your course to watch and it's got a special attachment to you. So that's great. Another amazing thing that's happening today. We saw a few days ago the Denver Nuggets won their first ever NBA championship. They are out partying like crazy right now. Their parade is going on as we speak. It may be wrapping up right now. Michael Malone was on the mic and just going all kinds of crazy, guaranteeing a second straight
Pat
title,
Riley.
as they all do. Yeah. Riley does it way back in the day, and now everyone has to do it. Jokic gets up there and said, it didn't sound like I want to go to the parade, but now I'm loving this stuff. Bring it on is one of the better days of his life. What he and the Nuggets did to win that title and now reaping their rewards today has been amazing to watch.
You know what? We talked about it. The NBA finals ended a few days ago. But what Jokic, who he is, and the perception, and people starting to understand his ability. Forget about the passing, rebounding, but his scoring, like within a few feet, he looks so ugly and awkward, but he's just nails it. Like he turns around and catches the ball, and he's just going to shoot over you, and it just swishes. It's it's uncanny. So
He would
best player in the world. Go ahead.
He would get ripped at the local Y for how it looks. These guys would laugh at him, and next thing you know, he's on the court for 5 straight games and just crushing fools. And he's doing it on the NBA level, a thing we haven't seen since someone like Arvydas Sabonis. We talked about this before. His kind of skill set, passing, scoring, and whatnot. We never even saw the best of Sabonis and what he had to offer. But Jokic has that. It's what you're kind of seeing with Luka Doncic now. Luka has that kind of slow motion thing that you
Just
still can't
easy
stop.
it.
It makes no
Un-
sense. How are you not able to stop
In
that?
control.
Yeah,
Yeah. It's
so controlled,
body
knows his body,
Yeah.
and he is putting up record numbers in that NBA Finals. No
Just
one
30,
did what
20%.
he's did. Points, leading everybody in points, rebounding, and assists in an NBA Finals. Never been done. He went like crazy town in the playoffs. What he did in the regular season, averaged 6 more points, a couple more rebounds in per game in the finals. I mean, I'm wondering what we'll be talking about this finals and this performance, how we'll be talking about it a few years from now, 10, 15, 20
Yeah.
years.
Well, he's got a few more years. He wins another, if he wins two, forget about it. He will be the best passing big man of all time. I know enough about the best passing big men, and he's kind of there. It's scary. He's averaging 10 assists. Like, are you joking? As a scorer and a rebounder. So his ability to be calm and look, like Luka, we're talking about, like their body control and the way they know the game. And again, we talked about Jamal Murray, how they play off each other, and a lot of props to Jamal Murray for, he's about to be a superstar. And again, we talked about it, G, just the way these guys play the game, just enjoy it. Like, who cares who's winning? Just watch these guys play the game. It's uncanny. Give and goes, passing. Yeah, it's just special to watch.
Jamal Murray did it a few years ago in the bubble and the year before the bubble when he and Donovan Mitchell went back and forth in the playoffs, and we thought we had the second coming of Dame Lillard or something like that. He's just going to be
Similar to
crazy.
Jimmy. Yeah.
Cannot miss in the playoffs. Is going to be the next superstar. Injuries have cut him down, but when he's healthy, this is it. This is what happens. This is where
Right.
he is, and this is the level he brings. And they have a legit two-man combo, and then you throw in Aaron Gordon in there, and probably even better than that is Michael Porter Jr. Michael Porter Jr. is sick. He didn't have a great.
No.
He had a couple games in the finals that weren't even good. They still won and didn't even need it. Aaron
Right.
Gordon was the best player in a couple of those games, and then Jamal Murray was the rock. And
props to Gordon
guys
for
healthy, they're going to compete for titles.
Yeah, no, sorry, yeah, not to interrupt, but yeah, props to Aaron Gordon for bodying Jimmy. He did the same thing to LeBron, but with Jimmy, I think he wore him down a little bit. I mean, Aaron Gordon deserves a lot of props. He's always had talent, but playing with Jokic and Murray, he was able to excel and use all his abilities.
Speaking of the Joker, we're going to go around this first episode here. We're going to hit a couple of different topics.
Yeah.
Maybe later on we'll have like certain different episodes and we'll just hit it on one topic for 10, 15, 20 minutes. Today we're going to go a little bit around the horn here, see what we can hit on. And we mentioned the NBA's Joker, and now we have to go a little bit and give props to tennis's Joker, because Novak Djokovic was just stupid good again at the French Open. He won his third French Open last weekend. John, I don't know if you knew this stat. He's the only player in the history of either men's or women's to be able to have at least 3 titles of all 4 majors.
Right.
The only one to ever do it. He now has 23 career majors overall. It's the most of all time. He passed Rafael Nadal, and he's only one behind Margaret Court for all-time men and women together. He just tied Serena at 23. He broke Steffi Graf, who had 22. Just what we're seeing with this guy is on an absolute another level. I'm not even the biggest tennis fan, but you got to appreciate greatness where it is.
Right. And remember he missed the COVID, the Australian Open. Right. So he could have won another.
He missed 2. He missed the U.S. Open here last year also. So there was 2 he didn't even get a chance to play.
And he's playing against the other 2 of the top 3 greatest players ever, in Federer and Nadal. So here he is. And again, I'm not going to say I'm a huge tennis fan. I had a paddle tennis court in my backyard, but I enjoy tennis. I woke up, I watched this stuff. It's special.
How much did you play tennis at LA Country Club, John? Did you play it there too?
I did not. I didn't like the tennis game. I just like the paddle tennis. Pickleball, I might even be done with. But watching, he's the best returner of serve ever. Agassi was up there.
Agassi was amazing. Yeah.
But he is the best returner of serve. His mental, um, I've never seen anything like it, to be honest with you. And I knew early on, I knew 15 years ago, this guy was just wiry, scrappy, confident. This, Djokovic always believed in himself. I've liked him. He gets a bad rap a lot. A lot of people don't like Djokovic. I love him. Like, it's, again, we're talking about like talent. Watch this guy. I mean, the tennis was spectacular the other day. Casper Ruud was incredible. He tried to battle back, but it was Joker show, man. It was so much fun.
I've had a hard time watching tennis in the last several years, and it's a shame for me. I want more personality in my game, and I think Joker would have been that guy, but I'm one of the people who's kind of lost favor on him. The COVID thing didn't do him any favors in my book. He lost some points for me, but he is putting up record numbers against what you said, two of the best players of all time. There's never been any better competition in the history of the sport than what we are at in the last 10
Federer
years.
is the best player I've ever seen in my life. There's no doubt he's the best that I've
And
seen.
he beat Federer to get all these titles. Imagine how many titles there would be for Djokovic without Federer and Nadal. And that's what, like,
or vice
Sampras,
versa.
Sampras had that.
Yeah.
I mean, he was facing off against Agassi, and Agassi is fine. He's a decent player. He's not a top 10 player of all time, not even close, I don't think.
No.
So Sampras had his way of it, and he only won 14.
Yeah, he won 14.
And that's amazing. That's huge. That's like Tiger Woods territory.
Yeah.
But these guys are in the 20s.
Joker's going to double that. He's going to double
it. Yeah. By the time it's
he's
done.
He's going to win the calendar slam. You can book it right now. He's winning the calendar slam.
Well, he's already done that. He has done that, and he's the only person to have done that in the last 54 years.
Right.
Which is incredible. He did it a few years back. He may do it again right now. Like I said, I mean, when you only have to go through Ruud and Tsitsipas and guys like this, I'm sorry, these guys don't stand a chance. They may get one here and there, kind of like poor Andy Roddick did. He had to face off against all three of these guys his entire career, and Andy Murray and
I think I saw something like, haven't they been in like the big three have been in like the last 24 out of 26 finals. Not necessarily won them, but they've been in them.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, together they've got 65.
Awful.
It's stupid. That's just absolutely stupid. The numbers there and things that Joker has done is just amazing. And like you said, he's probably going to win another 5 to 10. There's no reason why he's not going to do that. His body's there. He'll be able to play in all these tournaments now. No one's keeping him out anymore. And he's just going to wipe the floor with these guys. So he's going to set the record book on fire. Another couple of things we want to get into just really quick. We're locals here in the Los Angeles area, so you may not hear about it because it's West Coast and all these games end at 1:30 in the morning on the East Coast, but he's gotten his props for years ever since he got over here. But what Shohei Ohtani is doing again right now this season is beyond everything. I got to go out and see him a few days ago last weekend when the Cubs were in town, and he hit a home run that night. I didn't get to see him pitch, but he went yard. He's gone yard now in 5 home runs in his last 6 nights. And he is now second in the major leagues with 21 home runs. He is third in the major leagues in strikeouts. He has over 100 strikeouts. Only 3 guys in baseball have that. And it's stupid that we're not talking about him every single day and leading shows on SportsCenter with him every single day, because this is the modern day Babe Ruth and maybe even better.
Right. And again, we're not talking about them because the Angels aren't very relevant, which is just terrible, because that's, again, we just look at winners and
they're getting there this year. They're getting there.
They're battling. They don't have a chance. They have enough pitching. So anyways, with Shohei, dude, he took over the best player in the world mantle when he struck out Mike Trout in the World Baseball Classic. Okay. So it was over. Like, they won, Japan beat America, and Shohei struck Trout's ass out. And now they play together, which is great. So, yeah, dude, I played baseball in high school. I appreciate it. And he is beyond a unicorn. Most people, the average person, wouldn't even understand what the hell he does. Like, they literally would not understand or appreciate his talent. He's a hitter and a pitcher. He's an all-star pitcher, all-star hitter. So, um, yeah, I love it. I think you're right. And then Trout too. I think Trout's another talent that people don't appreciate. And God, I just wish these guys could get in the playoffs. We could see more of their, ability.
Right now, they sit in eighth in the American League.
Eighth.
If they would be in the National League, they'd be third, and they'd be like a game within getting a bye. So, and now they're in eighth place, and they're a couple games out of the AL playoff race. Who now this year, of course, to get 6 per league, and the Yankees are 9 games above 500, and they'd be the 6th seed right now. So it is tough as hell in the American League.
Talk
And
about
he's
your
going to be the
A's.
MVP of that
I
league.
know you were talking about the A's.
Yeah.
And that's fun to watch. Here's a team that everyone just crapped upon, calling the worst team ever, just disgusting articles. And here they are just shoving it in people's face.
I wrote a couple
What's
of them.
it all about?
Yeah, I wrote a couple of those articles. When they went 12-50, I was there saying how bad it is, shooting them down a little bit. And, I want them to be better. They shouldn't be this bad. They should, have something. And next thing you know, they go in a 7-game run. They're winning in Milwaukee, in Pittsburgh, 2 above 500 teams.
Tampa
And then
Bay.
they take 2 of 3 from the best team in baseball, the
They
Tampa
didn't
Bay
sweep them.
Rays.
I thought they won the last game. No, they were
No,
up
they
2
lost
in the ninth or
last night.
something.
They lost last night 6-3. That ends their
Oh
streak.
my gosh! I thought they were up 3 to. Yeah, they were up 3-2 in the ninth.
They were up 3-2 and they blew it. So they lost 6-3. They lost their streak, but they're still tied with the worst record in baseball, despite having won
Right.
7 of their last 8 games.
And that's
And
the
the
beauty of the
and the
game.
Kansas City Royals having lost 9 in a row, and now they're tied for the worst record in baseball. All of
Right.
this at the same time that they just got approved by Las Vegas to, or they will be getting approved to have their stadium made there in downtown Las Vegas and to become the Las Vegas Athletics.
Crazy.
So all this is happening. This is the Moneyball situation, but kind of flipped on his head. And I love watching them play. I hate watching them play, but what they've done to flip their series right now and flip their season
Yeah.
has been fun to watch.
Yes, it's inspirational, definitely.
They got a lot of players. One more guy we want to talk about before we get out of here. We talked about Shohei in the American League. National League MVP right now is looking far and away like it's going to be Robert Acuna Jr.
Not close.
Ronald
Not
Acuna
close.
Jr. Jesus God.
Yeah,
Acuna
we
Jr.
were talking about his stats. Throw his stats out again. What he was
His
doing.
stats right now, he is on pace
Okay.
for 35 home runs and 69 steals at this point. Right now, he's got 15 dingers and 29 steals.
Batting what,
through
like 330?
68 games. And he's hitting 333. He's the second leading hitter in the major leagues, well beyond Luis Ariz of the Miami Marlins, who's flirting with 400.
Yeah.
But Acuna's second, and he's at 333. I don't think he's in Triple Crown territory as other guys that are a little bit more power in him
Doesn't
in
matter.
the National League. But what this guy's doing is sick. It's all about staying healthy for him. He has only played, what was the stat I saw? He has only played in 119 games, more than 119 games once in his 6-year career. And that year he hit 41 dingers and had, I think, 27 steals, 37 steals. So it was a ridiculous season then. This year he's going to eclipse that if he stays healthy the whole time, by far and away. So watching this guy is a treat, and they're the favorites in the National League.
I would bet Atlanta to win it all right now. They'll get freed back. So yeah, with Acuna and Ohtani, we talked about it, dude. I checked. They're like the runaway favorites for MVPs. So again, the gist of our show: watch this talent. Just tune in and watch a couple at bats. Watch a couple innings of him pitching. Maybe you're in a hurry, but yeah, Acuna. I heard this the other day. I think he has 6 460 feet home runs. I heard that. And someone said that's more than like 80% of the teams. This guy hits bombs. He steals bases. I'm not a huge fan of his, but I'm a huge fan of his talent. Yeah, so it's exciting to see, and I'm definitely following him.
So yeah, that's the gist of what we're going to get into. We're going to talk about the things that made us go, wow, in sports every day. I don't care to dump on guys. We may, it's going to happen naturally. Sometimes we may, but we're not going to do that as regular form. we're going to get out there and pump up the guys that are doing it the right way. We may even talk about Little League or something like that if we see
Why
a
not? Yeah.
story that's good enough and
Yeah.
positive enough and bring something to sports that we love. And we're not going to break down every single move that's going to happen in the off season with the Lakers right now. We just don't
Yeah.
need it. Yeah, they had a bad ending to the year, but why dump on them? We don't need to do that. We'll let Stephen A and guys like that do it on TV, but we want to get the positive side of it, and I think we're off and running right now, John.